Will the audience please rise for the national anthem? Glenn Hansen, a WSU senior, social science major from Elk Grove, Illinois, will lead us as we sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and the bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. This has got to be the most enjoyable event of every academic year. We were discussing tonight, or earlier today, I should say, which graduation this is for Winona State. And I know some of the faculty have been here nearly as long as the institution's been in existence, but they couldn't help us. And as far as we can remember, we think the first graduation was in 1861, which would make this the 132nd graduation of Winona State University, which is amazing. And we think that probably this could well be the largest graduating class. We know it's the largest one in history, and it could well be, depending upon what happens over the next few years, the largest graduating class in the history of the institution are coming up. So maybe we're at a watershed, who knows? We do know it's the best graduating class we've ever had, right? You know, we've got kind of a tradition with our graduation that we kind of like a lot. And you noticed as the students came down, the students in the yellow robes, gold robes, led them down, and then when the faculty came down, a student with the Winona State University banner brought them down. And I wanted to say something about those students. Number one, they're all juniors. And not only they are all juniors, they are the best juniors in terms of grade point averages in their colleges. And the student who led the faculty down is the top junior at Winona State University in grade point average. And that's always confused me because all of these students have grade point averages cumulative between 3.8 and 4. And although we can't identify the actual grade point average because of the Privacy Act, we know that at least 2 of the 5 students that led the colleges down have a cumulative 4-point grade point average. And then we have to assume beyond that that if the student that led the faculty and was the top student in the junior class, she must have a 4-point grade point average. And I'd like to introduce them to you. And if these students would rise and remain standing as I go through your names. First, for the College of Business, Christy Denise Ehlert. Where's Christy? I know you're over there. She is. For the For the College of Education, Sandy Lynn Walbridge. For the College of Liberal Arts, Paul Allen Davis. For the College of Nursing and Health Sciences, Angela Beth Sanderson. For the College of Science and Engineering, Karen C. Peterson. And finally, the student that led the faculty into the auditorium, Beth Ann Treben. Beth is a psychology major. Thank you. Our local fire marshal has requested that you observe the no smoking regulations while in the gymnasium. And in the event of an emergency, please note that there are several exits directly behind the stage here, as well as those doors you used when you entered the gymnasium. And let me remind you, as noted in your program, that you are all invited to a reception which will be held immediately following commencement on the lawn outside the building back there. Today, to really start our program, we're very happy that Dr. William E. Hogan II has joined us to bring you greetings from the State University Board. Would you please welcome Dr. Hogan?
It's a great pleasure to be with you today. I'd like to thank the Mr. President, platform guests, students, parents, and honored guests from around the world. It's a pleasure to be here and give you greetings from the State University System Board. In my life, I've had the good pleasure to be both a professor, a dean, and provost. And throughout those 11 years, I must say that this is one of the best, if you will, ceremonies that you can have, and you never forget these ceremonies. I must also say that the students here are very unusual. You're unusual in the sense that this is the first time that I can remember in my history of education that a student body has taxed itself additional tuition to add to the budget to improve excellence. I think you should applaud yourself for doing such a thing. Besides being unusual, I won't tell you that you're the best class, you already know that. The professors here are also unusual, and as I listened to them at a breakfast I attended this morning, there are a number of people who have been here for many years, which always to me signals the dedication, if you will, to education and to a great university or to a great cause. I hope that you, the students, and certainly the leaders that will represent us in this world, will come out of here with the motivation and the drive and all of the intellectual curiosity that it will take to survive in this world. And you will certainly need a lot of intellectual curiosity. And as leaders, you will need more motivation than perhaps I had, but you will certainly need to maintain it throughout your lives. And you will never stop obtaining education, and please don't forget that. To the people who I consider one of the most important groups here today, let me say congratulations to the parents. The parents to me have always been the ones that are the most excited, and sometimes they even surpass the excitement of the students. But I understand that. I've also had a daughter to graduate. And it's not just the payments that you make, it's the outstanding feeling you have on the inside for these people who are about to walk outside and to participate in life a different way. Let me conclude by saying that this institution has provided you, if you will, with a place to stand. You've been given a place to stand, and there's an old intellectual leader, I challenge you to tell me who it is, that said, give me a place to stand and I'll change the world. Having been given a place to stand, I hope you'll occupy that place, occupy it with honor, and occupy it in such a way that you'll change this world. Thank you very much.
The WSU Symphonic Wind Ensemble, directed by Dr. Lee Mendick, will now perform Königsmarsch by Richard Strauss, arranged by Roger Barrett.
As I listened to Bill Hogan talk about the student body, I was reminded of some of the deep, deep feelings that I have felt this year as I have tried to serve as its president. One came when our very fine vice president had resigned from the university and was taking, not as a result of his resignation, but was taking a budget cutting solution to the faculty senate as a part of his responsibilities to help with the management of the university. He recommended to the faculty at that meeting that they reduce their extra duty days, adjunct overload, and etc. Nearly every faculty senator was personally affected financially by that recommendation. Yet, at the end of that meeting, they voted unanimously to ask Doug, the vice president, to reconsider his resignation and to stay. To me, it's a wonderful act on the part of our faculty. And I can only say that it engenders within me the sense that the only words that I can use to express it is love. The feelings that I have in response to that. When this week I went to the student body senate and asked them, for the sake of the institution, to consider a 1% increase in their tuition over what their sister institutions would be charging, the student body responded in like manner. This is only a small reflection of the greatness of this university and what it is becoming and what it has been over the many years. We love this university. Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you our first speaker, who is Adrienne Mitchell, been the student body president. And when she stood before the faculty at the opening meeting this year, she said that she was going to change the tone of the student senate to be more academic in its thrust. We have seen it this year as she has worked to help the students become better scholars, even though in the midst of all of this there was a great threat to the university in the sense that the students were asked to carry a larger burden than they should have, and that burden financially would have gone to private education rather than to public education. But with her efforts and other efforts of the students, that threat to public education was deterred and maybe even stopped. Adrienne has been a fine student. She has worked diligently over the years to serve her fellow students. She has been a recipient of many scholarships, including a 3M Corporation scholarship, and where she went to work with 3M, hands-on experience in the workplace. Adrienne has completed degree requirements and today is graduating with a Bachelor of Arts degree. Her major is psychology, and she has 2 minors, one in speech, theater, and the other in cross-culture communications. It is a great pleasure and honor for me to introduce to you Adrienne Mitchell.
Welcome faculty, administration, family, and friends. I would like to thank you for coming and being a part of one of the most important days in the life of a college student. Today is graduation day, a day long awaited and highly anticipated upon by my fellow classmates and me. For many years, this day has seemed so far in the distant. Now that it has arrived, mixed emotions have replaced our anxiousness. Fear of the unknown and what lies ahead. Uncertainty about the future and what it brings. Joy of completing an end and starting anew. satisfaction for our accomplishments, and elation for our successes. But along with that also comes insecurity, for we must now reevaluate our roles in life and begin to provide the answers to our own questions. As we grew up, our families were there to hold our hands as we learned to walk, crawl, and run, pick us up when we fell, and wipe away our tears of pain and disappointment. They supplied answers to our questions about giraffes and spots and birds and bees. And as we matured, we took on their beliefs and values as well as our own, and we were shaped and nurtured into the adults that we are now. The relationships and experiences that we have encountered throughout our collegiate experience are similar to the growing process. We have formed our extended families away from home, be they roommate, advisor, faculty, or friend. These individuals have also played key roles in our lives. They have too held our hands, picked us up, and wiped away our tears as we faced the many challenges of our wonder years. But the time of transition has come, and we must be the creators of our own destiny. Finishing 4, 5, and for some of us 6 chapters in the book of life is one milestone in a million. As Jomo Kenyatta once said, our children may learn about the heroes of past. Our task is to make ourselves the architects of the future, and we are the future. Just as our parents influenced the 60s and 70s, the 90s belongs to us. And it is our responsibility to build a foundation, to build strong walls that feather the storms of life, to build ceilings that never reach the top, to tear down doors that limit our success. As change agents of the world, we have the power to do anything within the realm of imagination. Someone once told me, there is no such thing as can't. Either you do or you don't. And from that day on, my vocabulary has changed because I realized there is nothing that can't be done. And I also realized that life is simple. We don't need to follow any deep philosophical doctrines to know how to live. What we do need to know is what we want, then follow our hearts and minds to achieve those goals. Although we have gained very valuable knowledge through the collegiate experience, Robert Fulcum believes that there are less complicated things we can use to guide us through life. States, all I really need to know about how to live and what to do and how to be, I learned in kindergarten. Wisdom is not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but in the sand pile at Sunday school. These are the things I learned. Share everything. Play fair. Don't hit people. Put things back where you found them. Clean up your own mess. Don't take things that aren't yours. Say you're sorry when you hurt someone. Wash your hands before you eat. Flush. Warm cookies and milk are good for you. Live a balanced life. Learn some and think some, and draw and paint, and sing and dance, and play and work every day some. Take a nap every afternoon. When you go out into the world, watch for traffic, hold hands, and stick together. Be aware of wonder. Remember the seed in the styrofoam cup? The roots go down and the plants go up, and nobody really knows how or why, but we're all like that. Goldfish and hamsters and white mice, and even the little seed in the styrofoam cup, they all die. So do we. And then remember the Dick and Jane books. The first word you learned, the biggest word of all, look. Everything you need to know is in there somewhere. The golden rule and love, ecology, politics, equality, and sane living. Take any one of those items and extrapolate it into sophisticated adult terms and apply it to your life, your work, your government, or your world, and it holds true, clear and firm. Think, what a better place the world would be if we all, the whole world, had cookies and milk about 3 o'clock every afternoon, and then lay down with our blankies for a nap. Or if all governments had a basic policy to always put things back where they found them or to clean up their own mess. And it's true, no matter how old you are, when you go out into the world, it is best to hold hands and stick together. Class of '93, I want you all to remember, no matter where we are or what we're doing in the world, there are common things that we can carry close to our hearts. The memories, the struggles, and the pride of Winona State University. Class of '93, may the roads you travel be full of peace and prosperity. Thank you.
Each year, members of the Student Senate and I get together to discuss who we would like to invite as the speaker for commencement ceremony. Ideally, we search for someone we believe will present a message that will be of interest and inspiration, not only for graduates, but also for friends and relatives that gather to help celebrate this occasion. This year, we have chosen a man who knows Winona State intimately well. Our speaker walked the sidewalks of this campus, the hallways of these buildings, and 19 years ago, he walked across the stage to receive his degree with honors in political science. While at Winona State, our speaker was active in student government, serving as president of the Student Senate for a year. He was a lobbyist for the statewide student organization and had the distinction of being the first student appointed to the Minnesota State University Board of Directors. In 1976, our speaker ran an effective grassroots campaign and won a seat in the Minnesota Senate. After 6 years in the Senate, he ran for U.S. Congress in spite of what many viewed as insurmountable odds. Won that election. Our speaker has been re-elected 5 times to the United States House of Representatives, serving the people of Southeast Minnesota 1st District. Now in his 11th year as a U.S. Congressman, he continues to hold federal deficit reduction as a top priority. He serves on the House Agriculture Committee, Select Committee on Hunger, and the Veterans Affairs Committee, of which he is chairman of the Subcommittee on Education, Training, and Support. 4 years ago, as I came to this university, we had a breakfast together. And when I met with him, I didn't know that I was eating breakfast with one of the emerging great statesmen of this country. If this country survives, well, it will be because of his efforts and efforts like him. I give to you Tim Penny.
Darrell made reference to my familiarity with this campus. Those years ago, I didn't need these. Adrienne, you have put the rest of us to shame in terms of how well you have handled the responsibilities of student leadership. And Darrell, thank you for that kind and overly generous introduction. Footsteps. That's what brought me to Winona State over 20 years ago. As the first member of my immediate family to contemplate college, I had to look outside to my extended family, in this case to my uncle Jim Hocus, to find a college graduate whose footsteps I could follow. A 1965 graduate of Winona State, my Uncle Jim inspired me to apply here. In fact, it was the only school I really considered, and I've never regretted that decision. Now, nearly 20 years since my own graduation, I'm proud and honored to deliver this commencement address to the 1993 graduating class that includes Jim's son, Chris Hocus, who incidentally is actually graduating in August. I expect that, like me, he followed his dad's footsteps to this school, but judging by Chris's involvement in student government, I'd like to think that in some ways he may have followed mine. The point is, in every important decision in our lives, we follow someone's example. During my first quarter at Winona State University, I took a course titled Introduction to Political Science. It involved discussions of the theories of John Locke, Thomas Hobbes, Machiavelli, and other political greats. Heavy stuff. In fact, for many of my classmates, it was their first and last political science course. But I found the teacher to be an inspiration. Professor Jim Eddy was a Marine officer and a true patriot who believed passionately in the principles of democracy and the importance of citizenship. He became my faculty advisor and encouraged me to consider an internship at the state capitol in the spring of 1971. My life was transformed by that experience. I know for the graduates today, 1971 sounds like prehistoric history, but during that session, real history was made. The Minnesota tax code was rewritten. Legislative reapportionment or redistricting took place as a result of the 1970 census. And the Minnesota Miracle, a plan to equalize education funding across the state, was adopted. Watching those issues unfold taught me more than any graduate degree in public policy. I returned from that experience and I became involved in student government. Shortly after college, as was referenced by Dr. Kruger, I ran successfully for the state legislature, and now, these years later, I serve this area in the United States Congress. In many ways, I am still a student of politics, and Jim Eddy is still a trusted and a valued advisor. If my decision to pursue a political career was in part inspired by Jim Eddy, there are others whose footsteps I also follow. Victor Christgau. There may be a few in this room that would recognize that name. Victor was elected to Congress by southeastern Minnesotans in 1928. A Republican, Victor was not returned to office in the Democratic landslide that brought Franklin Delano Roosevelt to the White House in 1932. Yet this Republican legislator went on to administer several New Deal programs: the Agricultural Adjustment Administration, the Minnesota Works Progress Administration, and in the 1960s, he ended his career as executive director of the Social Security system. Victor Christgau was committed to public service in the best sense. He was fiercely independent, moderate in his politics, and highly principled. Those same observations were made of his successors and my predecessors, Representatives Al Quie and Arlen Erdahl. And I can only hope that I might be remembered by some of those same traits. Generally, those who leave footprints are people who have the courage to leave the beaten path, to break new paths and to chart new courses. In his 1916 poem, The Road Not Taken, Robert Frost wrote, "Two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference." When I think of path makers, I think of Jeanette Rankin, the first woman ever elected to the United States Congress. She was courageous. She yearned for a world at peace governed by democratic principles, embracing equal opportunity and representation for all people. She was twice elected to Congress from the state of Montana, first in 1916 and then again in 1940, and each time for only one term. Obviously, she isn't remembered for her long legislative record, but instead for her willingness to put it all on the line and, based on her deeply held convictions, to stand alone. How so? She was the only member of Congress to vote against America's entrance into both world wars. A modern-day pathmaker is my low-key House colleague, Tony Hall of Ohio. His stature in the Congress is not a byproduct of his wheeling and dealing or his ability to speak in 30-second sound bites. Rather, his stature stems from his commitment to a cause. Tony Hall has dedicated his life, both in Congress and in his home district, to ending hunger. In his home district in Dayton, Ohio, Tony has organized food shelves, soup kitchens, and food drives. As a congressman, he has traveled off the beaten path to Africa, to Asia, to Latin America, to see firsthand the face of world hunger. After the untimely death of Congressman Mickey Leland on an African relief mission several years ago, Tony succeeded Mickey to become chairman of the House Select Committee on Hunger, a committee on which I had the honor to serve. It gave Tony a platform from which he was allowed to effect change in this most important area. Early this year, however, the House decided to abolish all select committees, including the Select Committee on Hunger. In April, Tony Hall began a 21-day fast. Not a hunger strike, not a hunger strike designed to recover his chairmanship or his committee, but a fast. Tony conducted this 21-day fast for the simple purpose of boldly stating his convictions about the cause of hunger. His fast spoke more powerfully than words. His quiet example shamed and embarrassed other members. By acting on his convictions, he caused other politicians to reflect that their interests too often lie in the glamorous issues. He forced us to face the issue of hunger. Congresswoman Rankin and Congressman Hall chose the paths less followed. But there aren't enough examples of principled leadership in American politics today. And consequently, many Americans are losing faith in our political system. Politics today is, on the one hand, driven by opinion polls, causing politicians to tell us what we want to hear instead of what we need to hear. On the other hand, the two major political parties are increasingly dominated by their own special interest constituencies, leaving most Americans wondering whether either political party is really focused on the national interest. Last November, nearly 20% of the electorate decided to send the Democrats and the Republicans a wake-up call by voting for Ross Perot. His vote totals were higher than any third-party candidate since Teddy Roosevelt, a progressive, in 1912. And incidentally, Roosevelt carried the state of Minnesota. 60 years ago, Walter Lippmann observed, "Those who are in revolt are looking for new leaders. They are looking for leaders who will talk to the people about their duty and about the sacrifices they must make. and about the discipline they must impose upon themselves, and about their responsibility to the world and to posterity. I don't believe American voters are looking for Ross Perot so much as they are looking for straight talk from their political leaders. However, when it comes to the budget deficit, the issue central to Perot's appeal, they hear nothing but double talk from the two major parties. And you saw some of that this past week. Democrats blame Republicans, Republicans blame Democrats, yet neither party proposes a credible program to solve the problem. Is it any wonder that voters become cynical when one party won't vote for Pentagon cuts or tax increases, while the other party resists cuts in domestic programs and entitlements? If you don't touch any of those four areas, what else is left? The voters have more common sense than the politicians. Walter Lippmann had it right. Voters are willing to sacrifice for the benefit of posterity, just as the faculty and the students on this campus have been willing to pay a price for quality education. Yet we in America are not being asked by either political party to make a balanced or shared sacrifice for the common good. Too many politicians, quite frankly, are afraid to deliver a message of sacrifice for fear that they will put their political career on the line. Teddy Roosevelt once said, "Only those are fit to live who do not fear to die. And only those are fit to die who have not shrunk from the joy of life or the duty of life." That's one of my favorite quotes from one of my favorite presidents, and I have forced my children to memorize it. But we need politicians today who will not shrink from their duty. I firmly believe America is ready for leaders who will stand on principle, just as Jeanette Rankin stood on principle. I firmly believe that America needs more legislators like Tony Hall, who will lead by example. My message today to this graduating class uses politics and politicians as an example. But principled leadership is required in every walk of life. With this commencement, you embark on a new journey. As you travel down life's road, you will come from time to time to a fork. Yogi Berra once said, when you come to a fork in the road, rather than following Yogi Berra's advice, I would urge you instead to heed the words of Robert Frost. Take the road less traveled by. It can make all the difference. And in the end, a successful life will be measured by the answer to these two questions. In whose footsteps did you follow? What footprints did you leave?
It's been our pleasure to have several emeriti faculty join us today, and they're seated with the faculty, and we certainly thank you all for your privilege and distinct honor to recognize those faculty members who are retiring from Winona State University this year. And at a recent banquet and other celebrations, they've had the title of Professor Emeritus conferred upon them. And I would ask if the emeriti faculty, that as I call your name and recognize you, please stand and remain standing until I get done, and please hold your applause until I'm finished with that. Begin with Dr. Richard Benke. Dr. Benke has been here 24 years. In the Department of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation. The second person I'm recognizing is Dr. Herbert Johnson, who has been with us for 27 years in the Math Statistics Department. Dr. Robert Keister, who has been with us for 32 years in the Department of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation. Dr. Wayne Kirk. Dr. Kirk has been 29 years in the Department of Education. Dr. John Martin. Dr. Barton has been with us for 30 years in the Department of Health, Physical Education, and Recreation. Dr. Fred Olson. Dr. Olson has been with us for 28 years in the Math Statistics Department. Dr. Sandra Olson. Sandra has been with us for 28 years in the Math Statistics Department. Is Mr. Perry with us today? Dr. Jose Perry? Jose has been with us for 22 years in the Sociology Department. And Ms. Marlis Junk. And Ms. Junk has been with us for 25 years of service in the library. Please recognize these people with the contributions they've made. Now, as we proceed with the conferring of the degrees, Ms. Dina Thorson, a junior double major in speech theater teaching from Chatfield, Minnesota, and Thomas Bartle, a senior majoring in speech theater arts with a minor in international studies from Waldenberg, Germany, will introduce the graduates. So that all the names can be heard, we respectfully request that you remain seated during the conferring of the degrees. A professional photographer will be taking a color photo of each graduate, and each graduate has received information on ordering photos. President Kruger, faculty, honored guests, it is indeed an honor for me to call special attention to those graduates who have distinguished themselves academically during their undergraduate years. Those students graduating with honors or cum laude are wearing purple braids and have grade point averages between 3.25 and 3.49. Students graduating with high honors, magna cum laude, are wearing silver braids and have grade point averages between 3.5 and 3.74. Students graduating with highest honors, or summa cum laude, are wearing gold braids and have grade point averages of 3.75 or higher on a 4-point basis. Finally, students wearing the white cords as they pass by here have completed the Winona State University Honors Program. All degrees to be granted today will be conferred by colleges, and the candidates for degrees will be presented by the respective college dean. And now let us proceed with the commencement ceremony, and I will ask, will the candidates for the Associate in Arts and the Associate in Sciences degree please rise? President Kruger, these candidates, having successfully completed the programs prescribed for the Associate in Arts and the Associate in Science degree, and having met all other requirements for graduation, are recommended by the faculty to receive the appropriate degree.
Candidates, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the State University Board, I confer upon you the Associate in Arts and the Associates in Science degrees and grant and bestow upon you all the honors, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. Thank you very much. Please be seated.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Engineering, and the Bachelor of Science degrees please rise? President Kruger, these candidates, having successfully completed the programs prescribed for the degree Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Engineering, and the Bachelor of Science, and having met all other requirements for graduation, are recommended by the faculty to receive the appropriate degree.
Candidates, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the State University Board, I confer upon you the Bachelor of Arts, the Bachelor of Engineering, and the Bachelor of Science degrees, and grant and bestow upon you all the honors, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Will the candidates for the Master of Arts, the Master of Science, and the Master of Business Administration and 6-year certificates please rise? President Kruger, these candidates, having successfully completed the programs prescribed for the Master of Arts, the Master of Science, the Master of Business Administration, or the 6-year certificates and specialist degrees, and having met all other requirements for graduation, are recommended by the faculty to receive the appropriate degrees.
Candidates, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the State University Board, I confer upon you the Master of Arts, the Masters of Science, the Master of Business Administration, 6-year certificates, and specialist degrees, and grant and bestow upon you all the honors, rights, and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations.
Professors Marjorie Smith.
What power, huh?
I won't mention your name again, Marge, I promise. Professors Marjorie Smith and Nicholas Ruiz, members of the Graduate Council, will assist in hooding the master's degree candidates for the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Dean Rosemary Langston will now present diplomas to graduates from the Colleges of Nursing and Health Sciences. Graduates, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Kimberly Cheryl Albers. Susan Denise Anderson, magna cum laude. Andrea Carol Bailey. Audrey K. Beck. Joanna Lee Bernston, cum laude. Carol Ann Calandra. Christy Jane Carr, magna cum laude. Beth Ann Christensen, cum laude. Lee Charles Cornelius. Mary Joyce Eckern. Christine Margaret Arrington. Stephen Robert Fisher. Tracy A. Fish, cum laude. Mary Kathleen Galeen. Rachel October Grail, cum laude. Kristen Michelle Hack, cum laude. Heidi Thorson Hamlin. Wendy Jo Hansen. Holly Jo Hauschild, cum laude. Hope Elizabeth Hawley, summa cum laude. Jean Ann Heimer, magna cum laude. Stephanie Ann Henninger. Susan Marie Hank, summa cum laude. Melanie Angela Holes. Clint Richard Hurt. Julie Anna Jensen, cum laude. Amy Louise Kettner. Melinda Ann Kleinwart. Kelly Ann Koskanimi. Stephanie Jane Langhow. Colleen Stella Leahy. Pamela K. Osborne. Cheryl Ann Pennington, summa cum laude. Kathleen Marie Porter. Susan O'Brien Puffer. Marita L. Ramirez, cum laude. Renee Teresa Reynolds. Vicky Renee Roeder, cum laude. Stephanie Jean Sanders, magna cum laude. Kay Marie Schmidt. David James Sell, magna cum laude. Carolyn Joy Schoen, magna cum laude. Julie D. Smetzer, summa cum laude. Heather Lynn Smith. Bonnie M. Spryer, magna cum laude. Jean Marie Squire. Michelle Ann Stutzman, cum laude. Sarah May Ulrich. Brenda Sue Van Ruden, magna cum laude. Rose Ellen Wallace. Kristen Marie Williams. Jennifer Christine Wood, summa cum laude. Cindy M. Boyum. Teresa May Disher. Anne Marie Doze. Letitia M. Geenan. Sharon Lee Thorson Gunderson. Peggy A. Haggerty. Diane C. Hansen. Rebecca Ruth Henderson. Teresa Mary Jacobson. Chiu Chu Lin. Rebecca Lynn Lawson. Cheryl Ann Loveline. Ellen Lee Milad. Tamara Joy Schwitzenberg. Jane Ann Tim. Delane Gail Vogel. Mary Ellen Ziebel.
Dean Dennis Nielsen will now present diplomas to the graduates from the College of Science and Engineering. Graduates, please come forward to receive your diplomas. Let me try that again. Dean Dennis Nielsen, diplomas to the graduates from the College of Science and Engineering. Graduates, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Cynthia Marie Ryman Thorne, cum laude. Stephen Thomas Beck, magna cum laude. Sean Dean Betcher. Todd Allen Betcher, magna cum laude. Eric Roy Burnham. David Wayne Hegstrom. Darren Glenn Jensen, cum laude. Scott Roland Liederber. Jennifer Lynn Mazik, magna cum laude. Kevin Jerome Rutzel, magna cum laude. Ben Brady Richards, cum laude. Timothy Gordon Simmons, cum laude. Shams Ahmed Abdulram. Ahmed Abraham Alshawi. John Paul Anderson. John Edward Barker. Mohammed T. Bashir. Andrew Methodius Billicky. Sandra K. Buckart. Christopher L. Catt. Maha M. Shana. Stephanie Marie Christensen. Stephen Scott Coulthard. Holly Jean Dick. Jennifer Rose Doffing. David Anthony Drips. Gail Ann Ellingheisen, summa cum laude. Chantal Lee Escher. Samuel Elias Espana. Montgomery Robert Flinch. Ki Hong Gao. Tamara Lee Hagstrom, magna cum laude. Janelle Marie Hammerschmidt. Diane M. Hawkins. Shane Helen Heckes. Stephen Dwayne Higgins, summa cum laude. Tamara Glee Hubbard. Christopher Douglas Johnson, cum laude. Jeffrey William Judd, cum laude. Danita Jo Kern, summa cum laude. Anwar Ahmed Khan, magna cum laude. Corey E. Knighton. Elisa May Kobe. Kevin Scott Laracy. Lissa C. Law. Patrick Allen Lessig. Sharon Ann Matsuzu. Anthony Joseph McGee. Brian Robert Miras, magna cum laude. Alan Richard Pennider. Marvin J. Philibert. Gregory Christopher Place. Stephanie Jane Polk. Tracy Louise Renyon, cum laude. David Edward Reynolds, ears. Vicky Jane Seamers, summa cum honore. Dina Kathleen Spielman, magna cum laude. Brian J. Stemper, cum laude. Marcy Diane Stockdale, cum laude. David Edward Tynes. Mark Anthony Victoria. Bruce Bradley Watcholz. Randy John Wagner. Lance Gregory Westby, cum laude. Jeffrey Lee Wibben. Marilyn J. Wicks, summa cum laude. Jason Gerald Wobig. Melissa A. Warner, cum laude. Karpik Yep, magna cum laude. Hong Yu, summa cum laude. Matthew Donald Zemi.
Professors Janice Sherman and Laura Knudsen, members of the Graduate Council, will assist in hooding the master's degree candidates for the College of Education. Dean Carol Anderson will now present the diplomas to the graduates from the College of Education. Graduates, please come forward and receive your diplomas.
John Greg Anne Marie Asprey, magna cum laude. Terry Lynn Backen. Leslie Diane Barnes. Michael Everett Bodine. James Arthur Beaver. Danielle Marie Bednarek. Linda Sue Quell Bedney. Denise Susan Beneke. Tammy Lynn Beranek, magna cum laude. Michael Guy Bessie. Michelle Marie Bean. Joe M. Blackburn, summa cum laude. Sarah Jane Borer. Dana Sue Bowden. Jane M. Brinkman. Corey Marie Brooks. Thomas Jonathan Brown. Elizabeth Ann Brusky, magna cum laude. Vicky Lynn Budak, summa cum laude. Jeffrey Allen Byam. Peter A. Carlson. Jill Ann Kluppert. Jill Lee Cody. Jeffrey Andrew Catone. Nicole Angela Curtis. Vincent DeLuca. Jody Lynn Doman. Chris Lee Dutton. Luann Eastvold, cum laude. Michelle Sue Ellinghusen. Corey Lynn Engver. Maureen Rose Schramp Ewing. Tricia Lee Fisk. Anne Catherine Fitterer, magna cum laude. John Curtis Flatness. Kimberly Ann Flatten. Laura Claire Flynn. Nicole Andrea Found. Linda Marie Fredrickson, cum laude. Michelle Lynn Galicchio. C. Gabrielle Gaspard, magna cum laude. Brenda Lee Gasper. Catherine Ann Giester, cum laude. Kara Jolene Glade, magna cum laude. Lois Elaine Gatch. Karen Emily Goin, cum laude. Kimberly Ann Grenier. Anne Marie Gullickson, summa cum laude. Kirsty Ann Halloway, summa cum laude. Patricia Ann Hammond, magna cum laude. Kristen Marie Hogo. Deborah Ann Hawkins. Patrick Joseph Hayes III. Stephen Paul Henriksen. Christine Marie Hill, cum laude. Anne Marie Hilpert. Tammy Jo Hope. Craig Allen Erkey. Allison Gail Jerlee. Robert Allen Johnson. Susan Marie Johnson. Stephanie Grace Kemmer. Karen Michelle Kemplin. Brenda D. King, summa cum laude. Deborah K. King, cum laude. Heather Lee Corcoran. Shannon Marie Copperwood, cum laude. Wenda Kos Copperwood. Suzanne Michelle Krentz, magna cum laude. Angel Dawn Kruger. Andrew U. Kubas. Jerome A. Kwasek, Jr. Lorraine Sherry Lang, cum laude. Idel Ann Fern Larson. Diane Jean Latva, magna cum laude. Cindy Sue Lyson. Roberta Joanne Lenz, magna cum laude. Lee Lester Liverance, cum laude. Kimberly Ann Lohman. Adriana Michelina Lombardo. Rachel Ann Lubin. Jeffrey Allen Lyle. Louis Paul Markham. Jody Joanna Marischek. Sheila K. McNeil, magna cum laude. Leslie Ann Smiley Melamed. John Joseph Meyer. Jolene K. Meyer. Lisa Marie Misukanis. Ralph James Mitchell III, cum honore. Linda Marie Motel. Glenda Elizabeth Nagley. Sarah Marie Nast. Susan M. Nielsen, summa cum laude. David Allen Novi, magna cum laude. Susan Marie Nunn, cum laude. Laura Sue Olson. Carol Marie Parrish. Jody N. Paulson. James Allen Pakaranen. Colleen M. Perkinson. Lisa Jo Peters. Dane Patrick Peterson. Beverly Virginia Pike. Tracy Lynn Pittner. Clarence William Pollock. Laura Jo Purvis, summa cum laude. Diane Margaret Reckamp. Linda Marshall Redlin. Patrick M. Reinecke. Stephanie Ann Reeby. Melissa Louise Roberts, magna cum laude. Travis Eugene Robertson. Janelle Lee Rolfs. Christine Marie Roloff, cum laude. Edward Morgan Ross. Teresa Eleanor Rothfork. Nicole Patrice Ruff. Tanya Marie Russett. Lisa Ann Ryan. Maureen Elizabeth Ryan. Philip Hirsima Reinerson. Nancy Sue Shefford. Linda M. Schmal, summa cum laude. Karen Lynn Schmeichel, cum laude. John Allen Schuler, cum laude. Nancy Elizabeth Sears, summa cum laude. Tracy Ann Sears, cum laude. Cynthia Jane Severson. Tiffany Ann Schaefer, cum laude. Christy Marie Siebenaller. Shelley Marie Sippel. James David Sanju, magna cum laude. Daniel John Stack, cum laude. Kristen Kathleen Stencil, magna cum laude. Deanne Michelle Stemke. Penny Jo Tanner. Joseph J. Tusqueda. Sean Lynn Theron. Janelle Marie Thibodeau. Carolyn Elizabeth Tobin. Lisa Jean Torgerson. Derek Vernell Updike, cum laude. Michelle Irene Van Dijs, cum laude. Stacy Ann Van Horn. Lori Ann Verdick. Catherine Sarah Vittore. Judy Ann Vicks. Tim John Volz. Stephen Michael Voschel, cum laude. Julie Ann Vreezy, cum laude. Julie Lynn Wax. Daniel Michael Wright, magna cum laude. Brent Cameron Wyatt, magna cum laude. Jeffrey Charles Alberts. Lori Coretta. Leslie Frank Charlton. Jeffrey Thomas Davis. Dawn Marie Easterly. Gail N. Erb. Tracy Janae Flieger. Susan Elizabeth Fox. Kristen J. Gerke. Brett Gresseth. Cheryl L. Gullicksrud. Catherine Patris Hawkins. Rebecca Hoban. Stephanie Jo Ha. Scott Charles Ingalls. Bonnie K. Jurnick. Catherine Ruth Calpine. Janet Mary Cush. Donald Allen Lenzen. Helen K. Madigan. Joyce Elaine Mehring. Marcy L. Nagley. Floyd G. O'Brien. Jane Eileen Redalin O'Corin. Sue M. Odegarden. Jeffrey Allen Olson. Cheryl Otterson. Michael Lee Paul. Lisa Marie Pestka. Cindy L. Peterson. Carol Pumney. Nora M. Rannenberg. William George Roundy Jr. Christopher R. Rick. Peter J. Scherer. Wendy Joyce Snyder. Daryl Schuster. Suzanne Eileen Skog Carlin. Betty J. Smart. Marianne Smith. Rick John Snyder. Joanne Marie Stevens. Gail Leslie Thompson. Greta M. Thompson. Penny Ann Tilden. Moralee Walker. Lori Ann Walsky. Nancy Ann Welch. Linda Hollowell Wenger. Stephen M. Meaden. Warren Thomas Stowell. Is that it?
Professors William Murphy and Mary Gander, members of the Graduate Council, will assist in hooding the master's degree graduates for the College of Business. Dean Kenneth Gorman will present the diplomas to the graduates from the College of Business. Graduates, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
It's getting. Jacqueline Marie Lawrence Neba Abangi, Maria Nahid, Randall Sean Rock, magna cum laude, Paul Richard Tro, Paul E. Vagaski, Syed Faisal Abid, Robert Jerry Alama, Angela Christine Allen, Chad Terrence Althoff, Jane Marie Althoff, Marilyn Ann Amdahl, summa cum laude, Andrew C. Anderson III, Christopher William Anderson, Janelle Eileen Ansell, magna cum laude, Kathleen M. Archer, magna cum laude, Syed Ali Arif, John Christopher Arndt, cum laude, Tamara Lee Asher, Kathy Jo Hora Beaver, Corey Lee Benson, Kathleen Ann Benson, Michelle Ray Benson, Deborah Ann Beener, Ronald Corcoran Birch, Michelle Lee Blansky, Jason Donald Blattner, Tracy Annette Boren, Laura Christine Boyum, Wendy Marie Bramer, cum laude, Cynthia Diana Brimacombe, Kelly Lynn Brockman, Nancy Ann Broger, Daniel David Bulger, Jason Robert Buttram, Sue Kim Cheng, Quen Yi Chu, Yan Cheng Chong, Brian Frederick Christensen, William Spencer Christensen, Brian Jonathan Klaus, cum laude, Deborah Jean Coles, cum laude, Brian R. Corbett, Jill Peterson Koshene, cum laude, David Andrew Cummings, Vicky Lynn Dahlgren, summa cum laude, Amy Lynn Dolly, Nancy Ellen Danielson, Mary Christine DeLeon, Craig R. Dennis, magna cum laude, Tanya Ann Draper, Daniel Joseph Dreyer, cum laude, Michelle Renee Durst, cum laude, Jacqueline Ray, Kendra K. Ehlers, Laura N. Elliott, Stephen T. Ertl, Mark Thomas Every, magna cum laude, Amy Lou Filner, cum laude, Paul Thomas Fisher, Tara Ann Fleener, laude, Michelle Jean Flonk, Jeffrey Miles Folkert, Scott Allen French, John Edward Galvin, Lisa Marie Gorick, Chad Michael Galing, Christina Elaine George, Stephen Edward Gilbertson, Jennifer Ann Getz, Ling H. Go, Anne Marie Hagman, Angela Louise Hagstrom, magna cum laude, Beth Ann Haley, John Charles Haymaker, Shayla Ann Louise Hamlin, William H. Harrelson, Adam Tracy Harmer, Diane Elizabeth Hart, Sarah Ray Hartman, Melanie Ann Harvey, Richard Dean Hawkins, Suzanne Carol Hazaimi, Shannon Annette Heinen, Terry Jean Hellickson, Heather Marie Hillstrom, Scott Allen Hilpert, Anne Therese Marie Hain, magna cum laude, Patrick J. Hokanson, Gerald Arthur Holacek, Kathy Ann Hoops, magna cum laude, Camera Sue Hopkins, Zunaid Hussain, Kelly Sue Hotelling, Jeshila Faye Howe, Curtis Robert Hittner, Sui Fong Yang, Eric Paul Jacobson, Tracy Dillman Jacobson, Michael Vance Johnson, Scott Anthony Johnson, Virginia L. Johnson, summa cum laude, Theodore Ernest Josephiak, Timothy James Justice, Stephen Joel Callis, magna cum laude, Louise Catherine Kelmes, magna cum laude, Christine Lynn Kaminsky, Jeffrey Daniel Kell, Pamela Peel Keeney, Mark Charles Kilkowski, cum laude, Aaron Michael King, James Edward King, Kristen Ann Kinney, Ross Corey Knudsen, Anne Kathleen Coker, cum laude, Jeanette Lois Kolstedt, Mike Louis Kroll, Stacy Elizabeth Kreplin, Lynette Renee Kronbusch, summa cum laude, Michelle Marie Kippers, magna cum laude, Kok Ha Kwe, Scott William Landy, cum laude, Jamie Lynn Larson, Kam Meng Leong, Su Hong Liu, Todd Michael Levan, Noah Steve Levy, Mark David Lilla, Kristen Renee Lindberg, magna cum laude, Sarah Jean Lawrence, Lisa Marie Litke, magna cum laude, Chuang Lin Luk, Brenda Marie Manbeck, Mark Scott Mancuso, Stacy Marie Mayer, Stephen Arthur Mays, Richard E. McGill, Timothy David McGlattery, Molly Jean McGraw, Kathleen Ann McGinnis, Dennis Robert McManaman, Michelle Lee McPeak, Holly Sue Miners, Mary Ellen Rush Malik, summa cum laude. Lori N. Meyer, magna cum laude. Scott Ruemeyer. Brian Patrick Meem. Timothy James Mickelson. Corey Andrew Meir. Christy Joe Malis. Marcus Frank Moore. Kathleen Ann Murphy. Kelly Lynn Nelson. Tracy Lynn Ness. Bradley Dennis Knuckles, magna cum laude. Dennis Dean Ogroski. Michael Christopher Olson. Yi Teng Ong. I Yong Wee. Shane David Palkovich, magna cum laude. Michael Scott Parker. Pavlowski. Robert Roland Peters. Henry Todd Peterson. Angela Danielle Pohl. Allison K. Prescott. Faye Lynn Pun, magna cum laude. Suzanne Marie Priest. Jolianne Marie Quarve. Stacy Elizabeth Rakiti. Darcy Renee Reichs. Michael Durang Reitz. Janelle Linda Rentschler. John Wiedner Risky. Ronald Thomas Ross. Stephen D. Roth. Daniel Raymond Rotter. Richard Ralph Ruth, cum laude. Julie Jensen Salmon, cum laude. Julie and Michelle Schmitz. Nancy K. Schneider. Anne Marie Schnolly. Brian Jeffrey Schramm. Christy K. Schreiber. Daniel Russell Schultz. Aline K. Schwier, magna cum laude. Sohail Imtisal Shahid. Craig Lee Schromoff. Lori Jean Scogan, cum laude. Carrie Lynn Sobek. Lynn Marie Sonic. Beatrice Andrea Saram. Catherine J. Sukup. Jeanette K. Steffes, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Strapp. Robert Joseph. Raiko Tashima, magna cum laude. Hawk Chuan Tay, cum laude. Alan Scott Tenenholtz. Xiao Heng Tang. Dale Anthony Terry. Jeremy Yonghong Tok. Troy David Triple. Michelle Lee Turcott. Todd Robert Tweedy. Linda Marie Twentyman. Betty Hendrickson Vandero. Jennifer Margareta Vossen, magna cum laude. Lori Elissa Walsh, cum laude. Eileen Derry Wallace, magna cum laude. Amy Marie Weaver, cum laude. Carla Joe Weller, summa cum laude. Matthew Wheeler. Wendy K. Wick. Angela Catherine Wilhelm. Ryan Allen Wisecup. Tammy Louise Wolf, magna cum laude. Chiu Huang Wong, cum laude. Beverly Ann Nguyen. Edward Francis Zachary, cum laude. Michelle Ray Zimmer. Anne Marie Zimmerman. Curtis Dean Zwiefel. Malika Atiwanako. Stephen Douglas Hanowski. Jerry Jacobs. Kirsten Ann Jacobson. Ching Kyong Kwan. Michael R. Lizowski. Eng Todd Ng. Gerald Lee Pieper. Russell R. Rotondi. Raymond Bernard Ricazan. Timothy J. Ritchie. Albin Alfred Tim Jr. David Brooks Williams.
Professors James Nichols and David Robinson, members of the Graduate Council, will assist in hooding the master's degree candidates for the College of Liberal Arts. Dean Bonnie Buzza will present the diplomas to the graduates of the College of Liberal Arts. Graduates, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Jennifer Ann Hill, cum laude. Sean Patrick Hurley. Jake Allen Koken, magna cum laude. Kenneth Earl Laircy. Paul Matthew Olson. Rory A. Revere. Donald Lewis Suther, magna cum laude. Nuo Tao. Deborah Jean Will. Michael J. Albers. Penny Lee Hemowski Allman. Jody Louise Ambrosio, cum laude. Melinda Beth Anhalt. Jeffrey Charles Austin. Stephen Paul Baker. Patrick William Barkley. Dean Andrew Beckman, summa cum laude. Jean A. Beckman, summa cum laude. Jennifer Susan Bendel. Mark William Berg. Michelle Ann Berquist. Kirsten Ann Bergstrom, summa cum laude. Matthew Aaron Bloomquist. Sherry Lynn Bollinger, cum laude. Victoria Jean Bronk. Christopher Mark Bruder. Michelle Ann Bratt. Joanne Michelle Brown. Karen Elizabeth Brown. David Charles Buchanan. Amy Elizabeth Budell. Brian J. Catalano. Patricia A. Chapwick. Bartholomew Lawrence Chatfield. Karen Jean Conley, summa cum laude. Robert Peter Costello, magna cum laude. Deborah D. Dachik. James Richard Daly. Nicole M. Dauphiny, cum laude. Jonathan Patrick D. Clementi. Gary Christopher Drigg. Rochelle Elizabeth Ellefson. Douglas Gary Elias. Christy Lee Elker, summa cum laude. Deborah A. Ellsburn. Michael James Emmy. Debbie Lorraine Essler. Michi Ito. Karen Lee Fairburn. Jennifer Feist. Shane Derek Ferguson. Christina Mary Forsyth, magna cum laude. Catherine Galasinski. Kimberly Ann Gary. And Aredna May Gies. David James Gleiner. Joseph Gillis Goman. John Richard Gossi. Teresa Marie Greenland. Jody Lynn Gustafson. Eric Francis Haas. Lisa Marie Halverson. Wendy Ann Hart, magna cum laude. Jennifer Ann Holk, summa cum laude. James Edward Hudson. Katie Irene Hughes, cum laude. Donald Joseph Jacques. Dennis Mark Johnson, cum laude. Kelly Robin Johnson. Karen Sue Cantor. Julie A. Kent. Faith Ann Kermis, summa cum laude. Michelle T. Klecker. Cindy A. Klein. Anthony Paul Klipsick. Kimberly Susan Knack. Michael Scott Knutson. Margaret Joanne Kobliska. Jody K. Cook. Kelly Ray Kruger. Donna Diane Crumpelman, cum laude. Jeremy Stephen LaCroix. Denise Bella Lamoth. Thomas James Lasky. Laura Jean Lee. Julianne Lavar, cum laude. Matthew Scott Lingenfelser. Sarah Elizabeth Lofquist. Chris A. Ludwitsky. Nana K. Manley. Christopher Thomas Martins. Margaret Lynn Marty. Tori Thomas Mascalino. Rebecca Lynn Mastelier. Lynn Ann Matakevitz, cum laude. Matakevitz. Deborah Ann May. Mary Susan Mickman. Leanne K. McMean, summa cum laude. Catherine Ann McNabb. Tracy Ann Malum. Carrie Ann Mines. Eric William Melby. David John Meyer. Robert Gerard Mickles. Elizabeth Renee Minette, cum laude. Stacy Ann Minnick. Adrian Dion Mitchell. Kelly Ann Mitchell. Robert McGowan Monk. Jennifer Catherine Montag, summa cum laude. Lori Marie Moody. Molly Ann Mormon. Kathleen Lynn Molis. Matthew John Mulhern. Susan Jensen Nagel, magna cum laude. Mark R. Nelson. Tracy Lee Nichols. Tracy L. Nielsen. Emily Allison Noose. Sarah Ann Oberhofer. Ida Margrit Olkunen, summa cum laude. Tamara K. Olson, magna cum laude. Kate Emily Operman. Todd Wayne Parker. Marilee Lynn Patno. James C. Pillow. Julia Marie Porter, cum laude. Melissa Beth Prope, magna cum laude. Lynette Marie Rader, magna cum laude. Charles Otto Rasmussen. Catherine Foster Reddig, magna cum laude. Norm Reth. Shelley Renee Ringen. Gina Terry Roars, cum laude. David William Ross. Jody Lynn Rostamili, cum laude. Melanie Jean Ruprecht, cum laude. Kimberly Ann Sadowski. Joseph Raphael Shaber. Donna Marie Schaefer. Kimberly Gail Schultz, cum laude. Patricia Sue Schultz, summa cum laude. Rosemary Elizabeth Schultz. Kenneth R. Seaton. David T. Sherman. Tammy Jean Simonson. Michelle G. Slayback, magna cum honore. Becky Lee Sukup. Timothy L. Spielman, summa cum laude. Nathaniel Conrad Steiner. Thomas R. Stelmazik. Kelly Suzanne Stinson. Allison Lynn Sullivan. Lee Michael Stoltman. Thomas Edward Steiba. Allison Cecilia Suler. Stephanie Renee Super. Alan Michael Swift, cum laude. Gregory Scott Tailmo, magna cum honore. Mary Kathleen Tendeschi, cum laude. Teresa Lynn Toms. Jennifer Ann Tollefson. Sylvia Lynn Tolzen. Sean Michael Toriski. David Allen Turner. John David Ulrich, cum laude. Regina Mary Uller. Paula Marie Veracek. Christy Lynn Veldman. Dawn Nichelle Volkman, summa cum honore. Bradley J. Watkins. Viraj Vera Vardner, cum laude. Wayne Scott Wicca. Libby Sue Weidman. Aaron Diedrich Witt. Angela L. Wolke. Gail Marlene Wolke. John Anthony Adank. Kimberly K. Anderson. Sarah Marine Bakula, summa cum laude. Margaret Joan Bialabuk. Julie Ann Bice, cum laude. Jo Marie Borgeson, magna cum laude. Tanya Ray Borseth. Susan Elizabeth Brockhausen. Lisa Diane Carroll. Michael Lawrence Carson. James Gary Simney. Monica Yvette Cole. Denise Marie Cuta. Kristen B. Dahl. Roger Allen Dallin. Jolene K. DeFlorian. Elizabeth Ann Doyle. Mark Eric Dronin. Susanna Claire Flam, magna cum laude. Jeffrey Wayne Flatten. Carrie Lynn Fleener, summa cum laude. Christine Marie Frisbee. Lori K. Gans. Angela Villard Galvin. Shannon Patrice Ging. Leslie Ann Green. Christy Carol Grieger. Dawn Elaine Groner, magna cum laude. Miriam Gail Gustafson. Kent William Harris, summa cum laude. Cynthia Sue Hazel. Candy Ann Hazelton. Susan Marie Heine. Ronald Dale Henry. Brad T. Hump. Kimberly Lynn Hunt. Elizabeth Erkey. Michael David Jackson. Darla Andrea Johnson, magna cum laude. Jane Yvonne Johnson, magna cum laude. Kelly Marie Castle. Mark William Kelm. Mark Allen Kinstler. Barbara A. Zeller Klink, summa cum laude. Christine Ann Knudsen, cum laude. Connie Jean Kebke, cum laude. Melissa Sue Cuskalan. Carmen D. Kramer, cum laude. Ricky William Kramer. Jennifer Marie LaDuke. Colleen Jane Leahy, magna cum laude. Sarah Louise Lindstruff. Kelly Jo Ludscher. Thomas Carl Ludloff. Lisa Kathleen Milan, cum laude. Michelle Marie Menka. Vince P. Manzella. Thomas Wesley Miller. Brenda K. Mills. Angela Jean Morbacher. Suzanne Michelle Monaco, magna cum laude. Christopher Charles Murnane. Eventina Guevara Navarro. Amy Sue Neitzel. Christopher L. Nichols. Lori Ann Nicolai, magna cum laude. Tessa Jean Borcherding Noomdahl. Christina K. Nygaard. Laura Jane Okri, magna cum laude. Anne Marie Petricelli. Stephen Michael Peterson, magna cum laude. Karen Marie Peterson. Kristen Joy Peterson. Scott David Phillips. Dawn Elise Pint. Roxanne Marie Princeton, magna cum laude. Brenda Mae Pretzer, cum laude. Gwen M. Punt, magna cum laude. Roseanne Teresa Quick. Heidi Marie Reimnitz. Francis L. Risehouse, cum laude. Beth Michelle Risser. Mary Justin Rusin. Jamie Sheehan Sadowski. Rodney Allen Saffert. Linda K. Sandin. Michelle Lee Seidel. Kelly Ann Sheehan, cum laude. Mark A. Sherman. Joanne Marie Sieben. Rebecca Ann Sill, summa cum honore. Anne Sloan. Carrie Lynn Stadther. Kimberly Sue Staffschold. Shelley Marie Stagemeyer, magna cum laude. Jody L. Stanky. Lisa Ann Steffenhagen, summa cum laude. John Joseph Steger. Marie Lynn Storovic. Michael Edward Subjic. Lois Ann Suko, magna cum laude. Kui Tao. Stacy O. Thompson. Jolynn Torgerson, magna cum laude. Kathleen Janelle Truver. Margaret Mary Verklin. Tanya Marie Wallerius. Julie Lynn Wiedemeyer. Christine Ann Wilker. Bonnie Lee Witt. Leanne Lou Witt. Elizabeth Ann Wolf. Mary Catherine Grusmacher Wolf, cum laude. Nan Liu. Timothy O'Hara Murtha.
I think we have 2 diplomas left here if anyone's interested. Well, now that the graduates have joined the elite group known as the alumni of Winona State University, it is appropriate that we hear from the representative of the Winona State University Alumni Society, Mr. Edward Bud Dolan. Mr. Dolan.
Well, for one who has a hard time walking, talking, and riding my bike at the same time, that went quite well. Thanks to Doctors Olet and Zwanitzer, they recovered my errors, and so I appreciate that. I am honored and privileged to welcome each of you to the Alumni Society of Winona State University. It is our sincerest hope that you will continue to be involved in Winona State University by taking part in some of the activities of the Alumni Society. The Alumni Society is a part of this fine institution, and it is an important catalyst wherein each of us as alumni can continue to be a part of the university and to remain in contact with it. I just feel compelled to say this, although it's not in my very brief script, that I am very proud of this university. I take a great deal of pride and joy in being a part of it, and in fact, I love it. And so I would urge all of you to continue to be a part of it, because after all, it is our university. Again, we welcome you to the Alumni Society of Winona State University, and we extend our very best wishes to each of you, and congratulations.
You know, the people up here on the stage who have the most courage are the students that are willing to stand before you and read off 1,000 names without making a mistake. Would you extend your appreciation to them? Now, graduation wouldn't really be complete without recognizing the group that makes it all possible. And I would ask the guests here today and the students to recognize the group, the faculty at Winona State University, who put you in the position you're in today. Thank you. I want to remind you again that everybody is invited to a reception on the lawn right outside the building when we get finished here. Please rise now and join me in singing our alma mater as we're once again led by Glenn Hansen.
Flowing Mississippi's waters, blue the eternal sky. In a
Would the audience please remain seated until the all very much.